Ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen these news articles and think you've won. Well, you have, kind of, but that doesn't mean it's over. This is just the beginning. Now, let's be clear. I really don't want all those distributors, warehouse workers, and drivers to lose their jobs, or even a percentage of them. These are hardworking men and women that get up at 5 a.m. or earlier if they're a truck driver, take their kids to school, drive or work all day, lifting heavy weights and working long hours just to put food on their family's table, something Alyssa Heiner-Schneider would know nothing about. So for their sake, I really hope this ends quickly or that they find employment elsewhere. But in the meantime, here's what we got from Bud Light. A. No firing. I mean, they technically did fire her, probably, kind of. By all considerations, she no longer works in that position, but they did it in the weakest way possible. They gave her a leave of absence. Now, a leave of absence, as defined by Google, is a temporary period of time during which an employee is granted permission to be away from work for various reasons. It is typically an approved and planned absence that is agreed upon by the employer and the employee is expected to return to work after the specified period of leave. Realistically, they may not be able to fire her because of a clause in her contract or the reality that this campaign was approved by the highest levels and they're just using her as the fall man. In this case, they have to make some compromises and give her a leave of absence instead of a straight-up firing. B. No apology. Their version of an apology to their customer base was, "Oops, we never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people." That is the weakest apology I've ever heard. They haven't said anything to address their mistake, and it is a mistake. Their goal was literally to get away from their existing customer base. You can see Alyssa say that herself in this interview.
And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor, and it was really important that we had another approach. Fratty.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert, class!
So, they don't want us, well fine, we don't want them either. I say those are pretty acceptable terms. Here's what the man at the center of the issue himself has to say about this. Mr. Mulvaney says, and I quote, "At first, I really took it as, oh, these people are giving me constructive criticism. Let me listen to them. Let me plead with them. Let me over-explain myself. Let me see if I can find some common ground. And now I've realized that those things are not constructive. They're pure hatred." End quote. Now, I realize that they like to say people are hateful or bigoted because it absolves them of any responsibility for an honest discussion. They don't have to argue in good faith. They can just brand any opposing views as hateful and bigoted and continue to do whatever the hell they want.
Excuse me, ma'am. No porn at the bar.
Oh, it's okay. I'm transgender.
Oh, I had no idea. Do whatever you want all the time.
But I'm here to tell you that it isn't hateful. I'll tell you what is hateful, though. Convincing a confused and lonely child that they can in fact change their gender, that their body is male but their brain is female, and nature made a mistake. They keep saying, oh, why don't we just put a pause on puberty? Like they're using a microwave or watching a crappy movie, and not messing with nature itself. And the only reason they do this is to prove that there are transgender children, so they can feel validated in their life choices, as well as for monetary gain for the medical industrial complex. Long story short, it ain't over. If you truly care about your country and don't like the mental disease that is rotting it from the inside out, you need to continue boycotting this. Don't forget, Anheuser-Busch also makes Corona, Stella, Busch Light, Natural Ice, Shock Top, as well as like 500 other beers. If you recognize any of these beers in the image and buy them on a regular basis, I encourage you to have some pride in your position. This costs us nothing and actually has a positive impact on the country we live in. Thank you and have a good day.